Testing.
I'm not watching the stream.
Okay. Matt, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you good. Loud and clear.
Yep, we're gonna.
Matt.
I can pull it up real quick. I'm on my laptop. Let's see. I'm on it. It says started streaming 2 minutes ago. Hold on.
Mine, I just
You can
got
hear
in
me.
here. It's like 2 minutes and 23, 22, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Stream starting soon.
Counting down.
Yeah.
Alright, I muted the YouTube live stream so we don't get feedback.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off it.
Delay.
Here, I'm gonna post the document here soon.
What's going on, fellas? It's your boy Dogleg Matt, and I'm trying to figure out how to get the face cam to work. Let's see here. How are we going to get this to work? I had everything working beforehand, so you gotta love that, right? Let's see. Alright. Hang tight while we get this adjusted, you guys. Professional in the making. At least you guys can see the fancy scroll at the bottom. What's up, guys? Yeah, I'm slowly checking chat. We're trying to get that done. Let's see if we can get my camera working, because that is the big test. Oh,
now you get full face Matt. Now let's get Matt put into a little box here. You guys can see how professional this truly is. And now we put me below. There we go. What's going on, guys? I see everybody's messages now. What's up, Kenneth? What's up, Tech? DCC? How you guys doing? NASCAR fan, British lad. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Let's do this next. Let's get the form put up on screen. So, window capture. That is not what I want you guys to see. That's not what I want you guys to see at all. Well, Remove that. How do I get this to be the screen? You guys are being super patient here. Appreciate that. I'm trying here. How do I get... Here it is. Okay. No. We're working at it. We're working at it. First one, you know there's going to be hiccups. You know there's going to be hiccups. You had to know that. Oh. You guys are getting an echo. I just turned it off. You won't hear an echo anymore. I had for whatever reason, my camera has a terrible mic on it. And you shouldn't have that anymore. Don't worry. Here we go. Perfect. So, and we want this to go below everything. There we go. Perfect. All right. Now I'm going to jump into the Discord and we're going to get this thing started. So first and foremost, I really want to just turn the music off. We're just going to get rid of that. Did that fix the echo, guys? Let me know. Let me know if that fixed the echo. I agree with you, Steelers. I agree. It needs to get the axe. It needs something done to it. All right, I'm going to jump into voice chat here on Discord. If anybody wants to join us on these conversations, go to the Discord. It's in the About section of the channel. Join us over there. Let's jump in to Race React. Hey guys, we are live here. I am in. Howdy everybody. So we are going to get this thing rocking and rolling. We're going to get started with our driver grades. I'm going to keep up with chat as much as I can, guys. The way this form is filled out, since we didn't know who was going to win the race, this is just goes, I guess this is by number, if I'm looking at it right. Ross Chastain, yep. Numerical order. You know how we do here at the Dogleg channel. We go in numerical order. So, yeah, well, yeah, so, yeah, because we have you have to think, we have the form, and we had to set the form up before the race, and unfortunately Dice, our master form maker, is not a future teller. So, unfortunate, Dice gets a 2 on my rating today, but, you know. But anyway. Alright, so let's start with Ross Chastain. We're going to go in numerical order. Chastain came back to have a really solid finish. I'm going to give him an 8. He had an up and down day. And, yeah, Brian says at least there was a bunch of cautions and wrecks. At least that broke it up a little bit. We did have a choo-choo train. It was bad. I'll see you later, DCC. Thanks for stopping in.
I'll give him a 7 because I think that's where he finished it.
Yeah, and Kenneth here, Kenneth says that he thinks that Larson may have blown his shot at the round of 8. And I mean, we did talk about that. With Talladega coming up, that is a tough track for him. He's got a super speedway curse.
Yeah,
but yeah, we're going to get to Larson very soon. Austin Cindric, I think he finished what, like 32nd? Or no, 27th. So,
he did get racks.
That 27th was the one he ran all day, so getting caught up in a crash.
He had a loose car.
I'm going to give him a 3. It wasn't good.
Effectively, it's
he just did not run well. I'm giving it a 2 because, to be honest, it's a Penske car. I know they've been running bad this year, but come on, you gotta do better than that.
Yeah.
Even though his teammate actually worked, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Was like super excited on the radio or something. He said he could not get it down.
I agree, Brian. Everybody on this chat knows that I'm not a Truex fan, so I like to see him go down. Austin Dillon, last place, he gets a 1, right? That's an auto 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got what, 10 DNFs now?
Yeah, it's something bad.
Check his stats.
That was very early.
Let's see. Kevin Harvick. How did Kevin Harvick fare?
Harvick is 6th.
6th.
6th, yeah.
I would say a solid. What's up?
My prediction for this race is actually Kevin Harvick.
Your prediction? Oh, for the playoff challenge. That was close. I'm going to give Harvick a 7. It was a decent race for him.
Yeah, I mean, he got no stage points, but he was, he came back up front and he finished respectable enough, of which, a bit late to get good results.
What did he finish?
6th.
Moving on to Larson. Yeah, we just had a talk about Larson here. Brian wanted to know if he lost half of his playoff gap, and I think he lost most of it, didn't he?
I'm currently looking at this point standings, and
He's like plus 0, isn't he, on the line?
Yeah, Lars is only 2 points above.
2 points above. I don't know. Just ignore that. That's lively, I bet. Bad race for Larson. I'm going to give him a 2. That was just, it was bad. Oh, Brian was talking about Truex. I need to turn my audio down a little bit. I'm a little bit loud. Brian was talking about Truex, and we're going to get to him. But yeah, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for him either. Brad Keselowski, 7th place. I mean, it was a solid day for Keselowski. He ran up front. I mean, not a bad day. I'm going to give him an 8.
Yeah, he ran consistently. He stayed out of wrecks. He got some stage points. According to this ticker thing, he got 4 stage points in stage 2. So overall, perfectly respectable race.
I mean, he entered below the cut line, didn't he? And he left above it. So.
What you gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah. 2, 3, 2. I mean, we're gonna get to Ty Dillon, but he had a decent race. We'll get to Ty, but
yeah, Corey LaJoy, essentially, he hit the wall sometime during like stage 2, if I'm not mistaken, and effectively was just screwed after that and was non-factor. So I can't say anything other than 2. All right then.
yeah, and Kenneth just talked about Kyle Busch, and let me tell you.
Got wrecked, I think, in stage 1, I believe.
Well, what happened was basically this. In stage 1, and after the first set of green flag pit stops, and after all the caution stuff like that, near the end of the race, he thought that his right rear or something was having issues, or whatever the tire was, and then eventually near the end, it just completely fell off his car and crashed out completely. So, I mean, he was within the top 10 at the time.
And then it kind of blew out on him. He was running top 10. I'd say those guys were probably 5th to 6th place speed. So had they not crashed, they probably would have came out with a solid day. I mean, who knows how it would have went with the chaos, but no matter what happened, they would be in a better spot than they are now.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'll give him a 5.
Like we all thought.
But at the end of the day, in my opinion, he crashed out. Probably should have come down, and if he wasn't sure, this was just not great. I can't give anything better than 2. Let's move on.
Kyle Busch got no
Yeah.
stage points. Just saying.
Kyle Busch, I'm gonna give him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a 3, and it's untimely because I'm wearing my Kyle Busch shirt today.
Rip. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's go on to Chase Elliott. I mean,
Did he end up with a top
Chase
10?
Elliott's day was honestly good. He finished worse than he was running because according to the ticker, he had 5 stage points in stage 2 and the same amount in stage 1. So he was running up front decently well, or at the very minimum, his crew chief managed to make some good calls to get him up front. So despite not restarting too well, he had a good race.
I'd like to add to Chase Elliott that he started 29th. Just saying.
Yep. Yeah, he started
Wow.
Where did he finish up at? Sorry, I was talking to Jen. 11th? Not bad
He
actually.
should have been at least top 5. He was 3rd on that final restart. Then he got like a run on the outside. Then he got held up. Lost.
I'll
6th, 7th.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a 6.
He was on the top 10
Overall, great racer Chase.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll give him a 6.
He's not in the playoffs.
It's not what you would.
He's in the owners' championship.
He is in the owner's championship, so the stage points do help.
If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, this is good for the 9 owners wise, which does pay out in the end.
It does.
Eric Almirola, meanwhile.
Honestly, I mean, he finished 18th, but all things considered, he kept his race car clean for once, and he was actually running somewhat reasonable for that car. So not great, but I mean, we've seen a lot worse out of him.
Yeah.
I'd say he gets a 5 or 4.
Do you think he's gonna retire
Eh.
the season?
After the Dillon caution, I know.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
3-wide move and spun Almirola and Bowman. So I'm not
Yeah, I remember that.
I
do too. But overall, yeah, Almirola, he was basically unremarkable. Let's move on to Denny Hamlin.
Top 5. He's been.
This was a business as usual race for Denny Hamlin.
I
finished.
I think a lot of us were rooting for Eric Jones, Tony.
Question though, do you think the damage of Tad Gibbs helped him?
No, I don't think it did. I think
I don't think
to be honest, it honestly might have flared out the spoiler a bit, which gave him some more downforce.
He got hit on the side. How would it flare out the spoiler?
Well, not the splitter, sorry, but like
the splitter.
Are you talking about the giant hole on Hamlin's car? The arrow hole that helped him?
It was bent forward, so
well,
it was kind of like an angle.
So here's the
guys,
thing.
Racing Reference has listed Kyle Larson with the sponsor Valvoline for today's race.
That was a little off there.
What do you mean Valvoline?
Check out
Okay, yeah, but
Reaction.
yeah, but on a serious note, Hamlin. I mean, I think I've heard things where the previous 2014 cars, Gen 6, where they flared the side skirt out, and this incident caused something similar to that. But I think the hole in the arrow caused as much damage to the car as that potential arrow benefit.
Yeah.
So basically, it was a net 0.
Still got a top 5 though. You're good.
Let's see. So Blaney, where did Blaney end up?
He ranked out. He was 28th.
Yeah,
So Tony has a good question, and I want to give a quick little bit on this. And we didn't even rehearse this, guys. We didn't anticipate needing to respond to chat. But Tony asked what was up with the tires, and honestly, I think 2 of those incidents were loose wheels or loose lugs. And the other ones, though, the track temp was 145 degrees today.
What?
And so that will melt those things. You're going to have an issue. Now, it didn't necessarily help lap time, but what it would do is would cause failures. So you didn't have to pit for tires in terms of speed, but you definitely didn't want to stay out there too long.
Yeah, well, here's the thing with the tires, pretty much, is this. Texas today was an extremely slick racetrack, and it's always been that way, and combined with everything else, and also the fact that the top groove is, especially, which proved to be the faster, was also extremely slick. The odds of you going around were very high if you didn't know what you're doing. And we also saw a lot of guys, just flat out lose grip and just have to get out of the gas and lose almost all their track position.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was definitely a hard race. But anyways, would you like to go back to Ryan Blaney?
Yeah, Blaney.
Definitely did a good job with the tire compound.
Where was Blaney? Where did he end up? He ended up 29th or 28th. Yeah.
So
28th or 29th, one of them.
I will say
28th,
this
it
about
was
Blaney,
bad.
though. He finished a lot worse than he was running, because stage 1 he finished 7th, and stage 2 he finished 4th. So we got a lot
He
of
did
stage
get
points,
stage
which was
points.
basically the only redeeming part about his race. And at the end, he was running near the front, but then he got involved in that that weird situation where a bunch of cars just slapped the wall and then crashed into each other.
Yeah, that was.
I-
There's a lot of weird way.
And I'll gauge the room here too, but Brian brought up a good point. He said that he believes this was the best Texas race in a long time, and honestly, I mean, it wasn't a great race, but for Texas standards, I would say it probably was the best one I've seen.
I do agree with that.
It's actually really
Yeah.
good.
It was single file, but
for
once the track got shade over it, I would say the racing definitely they got racier.
Yeah.
As the race went on, it got a little cleaner there.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad race. It was not a bad race for Texas standards. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Texas
I mean,
standards are
honestly-
pretty freaking low since they re-profiled turn 1 and 2 and repaved that place.
Is Blaney still above the cut line? I don't.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Not even
Almost, though.
close.
I don't think so.
I think he's 30 something points below at this point, which
Can
is
someone
real
point
bad.
out what the points things are, or put the screenshot in the race reaction chat just for the sake of ease?
Yeah, I would do that. I should have thought about that. You know what's crazy?
He's only 11.
I probably should have made the ticker at the bottom of the screen the points.
Well, we can
mean,
but-
address
You
that
can
for
have that
next
on
week.
like the other
Points
corner
on-
somewhere.
Yeah, we'll you know what? I'm gonna write a little note here for future. Have points.
Then
And
again,
can
the
I
points
add
on like
something to the 11? The 11 probably could have swept the first
No.
round. I mean, he got screwed.
Brian, this
we
was
discussed that.
this was not the worst race of the year by far. I would say Watkins Glen has that pretty wrapped up, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this
Wasn't
I will.
good either.
Richmond
Yeah,
to me.
well, I'll basically summarize
Richmond,
it
yeah.
as I'll summarize it as this. This race was definitely probably the worst of the 1.5 milers, but
Probably.
But considering the fact that the 1.5s have been all good except for this one being somewhat mid, this was perfectly fine. I mean, considering the expectations going into this was fine.
Well, yeah,
Let's
and
move on now.
yeah, for sure. Chase Briscoe.
Anyway.
Briscoe finished.
I mean-
Did he end up with a decent finish?
He ran top. Briscoe finished 10th.
Finished 10th, and
Yeah.
at the end he was
And
he was
he
at
got
second
fifth?
contestant for the
Yeah.
lead.
Briscoe, yeah, 10th.
Nose damage.
7. I'm gonna give him
He
a
was
7.
running in fifth
Solid
at
run
some
for him.
point.
I think that might be his
Yeah, he
first
got-
top 10 finish ever since his Phoenix win
Hmm.
last year. I don't know.
No,
Uh,
definitely
not
not.
close. He got a bunch of top 5s earlier. He then
Yeah.
just had a penalty and was screwed. But
Well, and I mean,
effectively,
even the playoffs last year. I mean, the man was stringing them together. He made it to the round of 8 just on pure consistency, which was crazy.
yeah,
Well,
Briscoe,
yeah,
yeah, but
Before
yeah, but
last
getting
year,
back,
did
but
get moved
getting
out
back
of the
to
way.
this race
Well,
for Briscoe. Getting back to this race for
Moving.
Briscoe,
yeah.
he was interesting. He was there. He climbed up. He did what he had to do. Good for him.
Yeah. JJ Yaley.
Yay. So,
Where did he? Yeah, he had a wreck. He finished 32nd.
Yeah.
I mean,
None
none
of
I
of
know
the
the
RWR cars even finished. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that was tough.
yeah.
My
I
question is
mean,
what they're gonna do in the owner points now. They're both below. Next year, what are they gonna
I
do?
think
Are
one of
they-
those cars is fine, but
Yeah.
the other one, I think the 51 car more specifically needs to either NASCAR's right to repossess it. Whether they do so or not is up in the air.
They're not
but
going to.
they gotta go.
NASCAR won't do
They're
it.
not gonna revoke
No.
their charter. Rick Ware's not that bad. to
Mm-hmm.
get revoked.
They just need to listen. They need to have a dedicated driver, and they're going to get one with Justin Haley. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think Rick Ware. You'll see what it is next year.
Anyway, AJ Allmendinger.
Allmendinger, where did he was bad. Yeah, he got pelted.
was loose as hell.
Well,
He got
guys like NBC kind of missed it, but I saw in one of the angles they showed like right before they cut to ads, he hit another car and then he gets turned and then he kind of went head on into the dogleg part there, kind of like Hamlin at Charlotte but at a lower speed.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty bad.
He ended up 29th. I'm gonna give him a 3. I mean, he didn't end up there because of
Ben caught that on
give
camera.
anything
I want to see like a better angle of it. It looked pretty bad. He was kind of limping afterwards.
yeah, I think honestly
Yeah.
the only reason they didn't show us a better angle was because there was
Oh,
just
wait,
so
wait,
much
wait. Yeah,
smoke
yeah.
and stuff in the air.
I think he hit Bowman because that was the only guy he was racing before he fell back and lost to Reddick. Was losing speed
Maybe.
to Swords
I
and
gotta
Reddick.
think of
Uh,
I know.
I don't know. I mean, I saw Allmendinger in the top 10, top 15 for a bit,
Yeah.
but he just kept slipping back at the end.
Yeah.
He was in the top 10, and then like somewhere after Bowman passes him, he just fell. Suarez, Truex, Reddick passed him quickly. So it had
Let's
to be
see.
somewhere in between the slots.
Busher. Busher was
Busher
14th.
was running good. I don't know.
He ran pretty solid.
14th. Yeah, but
W-
he ran pretty well. He got
What's
second in
he?
stage 1. He got fifth in stage 2. He got a lot of stage points.
Okay, yeah.
I think he got a lot
Nice.
of room over the cut line, right?
Yeah, where is he at on the cut line right now?
He's above it, I think.
Well, yeah, I guarantee he's above it, but how far?
22 points, I believe.
22. That's really
Oh,
solid.
he's well above. Yeah.
I mean,
you do have Talladega next week that'll eat 22 points up in a single wreck, but
well, true, but then again, if there's any card bet on for Talladega, it'd be an RFK car. They have proven to be consistently the fastest at super speedways.
Can't wait for all those predictions to just go bad. Tyler Dillon wins
Yeah.
that race.
where's Brad Keselowski at on the? Because Brian just brought up a point saying if Brad has a bad Talladega, he's probably a goner. Where's he at? Isn't he above the cut line, like 14 points?
Yeah, he's like 11th or something, like 11 points, right? I think so.
Yeah, no.
He's gonna need. He's gonna
I will say.
Mother.
I mean, if I would say this, the majority of guys, if they have a bad Talladega, could be in rough shape.
Kyle Busch is in must-win territory.
Yeah, Kyle Busch at this point is in bad shape.
JB's in trouble.
The points are so tight today. Like, Jesus.
I'll say this.
That's really good. I'd say you can make that up.
Yeah, Keselowski of all the guys that I'm. Oh, thank you, Brian. Just put the points in. That's fantastic for me.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
That is super clutch. Yeah, he's basically making up for my shortcomings here. Brad Keselowski is one of the in the chat in the YouTube chat. Yeah, of all the guys there, Brad Keselowski's not the guy I'm worried about. I would be worried about Larson, Reddick, and Busch.
Busch is in must win. Reddick and Larson both are not great super speedway racers, so they're gonna need strong days at Talladega, and they're gonna have to hope that nothing bad happens to them at the Roval if they want to have a chance to point in.
Yeah, hasn't Blaney won the Roval twice, or did he just win the crazy year in 2018? Okay.
I think Blaney won just the inaugural.
Larson 21, and last year it was
Bell. Anyway, want to move on?
Yeah, to Truex and Truex. Yeah, we talked about him.
He's just been bad. Truex, that team's just missed it lately.
The thing is, though, he's still 19.
My question is, what is going on with him? Because Hamlin's doing good. Bell's probably in his speed, bro.
Isn't he?
What's his problem?
Truex, I feel like, has been going through a season collapse ever since.
Yeah, but he's looking at these points. He's 19 above the cut line, though. Still.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that he's not done that off of good finishes.
No, he hasn't. I'm saying because he had a great regular season, but
effectively what he is effectively doing is what Chase Elliott did last year, which is have a really good regular season, and use that as a cushion to coast your way through the rest of the playoffs, and hopefully that's enough. Which, I mean, it did work for Elliott, so I guess it's a valid strategy, but Elliott also did have some good performances by winning, so
yeah.
Speed and had good runs. But Truex's last top 10 finish was race 25 at Watkins Glen, which was the first race we did this. So that's how long it's been since that team's had a good run.
Wow.
You talking about Truex?
Yeah,
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to pick it up because
Where
this
did he
is
finish
just not
tonight?
what we-
He finished
He finished
17th.
17th, which
I think Truex retires after next year.
Yeah.
I mean, it could happen.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to
Let's leave
say.
on a high note.
2026.
Let's see.
Hard to say.
Christopher Bell is next.
Mark Martin, you know.
And didn't
Yeah,
Christopher
but-
Bell came back for a top 5, didn't he?
Yeah, he finished fourth according to
Yeah.
the standings.
okay.
Although,
It was an okay week for Bell.
let's see. I mean, he got third in stage. Yep.
Did
So,
really solid.
you
I'm gonna give him an 8.
Business as usual for Christopher Bell if he wants to get to championship.
Yeah.
If he wants to get to the championship 4, then this is business as usual. I think he should, I guess, get a little better, because he did get absolutely nothing in stage 2. But other than
yeah, he got 8 stage points in stage 1. But I will say this: during like a lot of the midsection of the race, he was severely far back in the field and stuck. Uh, especially after his pit crew completely botched that stop. I mean, that was a complete disaster on that crew stop.
Yeah,
Is this not why you gave
Yeah.
him
his
five?
pit crew needs to get better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Truex.
I mean, they've had incidents in almost. I'm pretty sure. Have they had incidents in literally every
every
single
single
start
one,
with them?
every single
Yeah,
one.
they have.
His first one today was bad too.
Bristol. I think they might have had one bad stop at
They
Bristol.
did, yeah. They had a bad stop
They
at
did.
Bristol.
Yeah, I mean,
They have
frankly
the
speaking,
speed.
Oh yeah,
They
they
have the
did.
speed. They just don't have the execution. Is what it is.
yeah, I mean, frankly speaking, I'm just gonna say this: like, this performance is completely unacceptable. There's no way you're making it
Well,
farther than the round of eight if you
can I
keep
just
pulling these
mention
stupid mistakes.
that every time there was a pit crew issue, it was the right rear changer. I just wanna. That's
Well,
from the ones I know.
here's what boggles me about it is that's Ty Gibbs' pit crew, and that pit crew won the challenge at North Wilkesboro. So I mean,
Yeah.
like what
Yeah, I mean,
happened? You
Forrest
know?
got second, but his pit crew isn't that fast.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it was so good. The pit crew was so good with Ty Gibbs during the whole regular season, and now they're collapsing, which is
They
very weird.
literally set the record for fastest NASCAR pit stop ever.
Yeah.
So I mean, they literally hold that title.
Oh my god! Just collapsing when they need to be going the same as they were in the regular season because Bell's in the playoffs.
I don't think
Yeah,
Bell's pit crew, his normal pit crew, like the pit crew they used in the regular season, I don't even think they were that bad. So.
No, and you know what's hilarious?
Yeah, I don't
Like
think they were.
that pit crew, they showed the graphic today. They've had Ty Gibbs' crew now, which was Bell's, they've had the third fastest stops of anybody during the playoffs.
What a joke.
Yeah,
It's just it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But also remember that at one point in the race, Gibbs, his pit crew, who used to be Bell's, had an issue. I think the air hose got wrapped around something, and he dropped all the way from top 10.
Yeah,
he dropped all
it
the
was
way
bad.
from top.
Going on to Harrison Burton.
Let's see. I
Did
mean,
he?
finished 20th.
He got a top
which,
20. That's been a while. Let's see those last
You know-
top 20. Let's see.
sounds like I remember.
I don't know what this kid needs, but this
He
kid
had
needs to find something.
he had a top
It's
10
just
at
that-
Darlington this year, didn't he? Darlington won. He had a top 10, I believe.
Yeah, but I mean, one top 10 in that equipment is not going to keep you in that chair for a
Pocono
while.
as well, he did. He says he has 8th. Harrison Burton's last top 20 before this race. Guess what it was?
Darlington, I'm going to assume.
Talladega?
Michigan.
Damn.
Well, that's a bit weird, but yeah, that's not good.
He had a
And,
good run going at Darlington too, and then he got caught up in that weird crash with Bowman and Suarez, if you remember.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, but okay, I'm just gonna say this for Burton. You know what's kind of funny?
What?
He finished the best out of all of the quote-unquote Penske cars.
That is true.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And yeah. And speaking of Penske cars, the next up is Joey Logano, who finished 21st on pure speed.
What the hell?
Joey
Did he
Logano
say
in
he
a
was, like, tight?
Penske car with all the chaos. 26 cars finished the race, and Joey Logano gets 21st. He's one spot ahead of BJ McLeod. Ty Dillon is 2 spots ahead of him. That is not good.
Yeah, this was
He was like third
Yeah.
in
He's the
practice
defending
and
champion
okay in
and out of the
qualifying.
playoff.
Yeah, he is the defending champ, and he was out in the first round.
That
Yeah,
was
so
this-
that's
wrong.
saying
He was
something.
gonna make it before he got crashed.
Well, true, but even then, and on this, in terms of the speed that team had been showing, they, frankly speaking, didn't really deserve to go much farther. I mean, look at Kansas. They were running terribly. Then Paul Wolf manages to make a goat hook call and get into third or fifth or something, whatever it was.
That's
Right.
I feel like
you're gonna get a good finish.
I feel like Logano did that a lot this year. Like even in the regular season, he would just be slow as all get out all day, and then like, oh, he's in the top 5 now. Whenever it's like at the end on the restarts.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
year that
Yeah,
was like
but-
Michael McDowell, but that was a front row car. So
Yeah.
this year it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Let's
I mean,
go
frankly
to
speaking, it just wasn't working.
Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace. Man, I'm conflicted.
Great,
Oh, we got
great
third. Okay.
run. Great run for Bubba.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at this. You know what? He didn't actually do that well in the stages. He only finished 10th stage 1, albeit that was a bunch of pit strategy nonsense, and he got 2 points in stage 2. But there's no doubt that once Larson spun somehow on that restart, he was the guy to beat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
That
he was.
restart was so bad of
And he
his.
was on the pole as well. So what if they awarded
I-
points for getting pole position?
I'm gonna.
Do you really want Byron to have extra 5 points right now?
If
I
what?
don't think so. If we had points for pole positions, Byron would just get a bunch of points right now. I don't know. I don't think
Yeah,
that's
well, we can discuss that like in chat after this, but since we haven't been
Yeah.
on the schedule, but let's move on to the winner and the fairly obvious score, William Byron.
10.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
Uh,
Actually, I'm gonna give him a 9.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull I'm gonna pull the random I'm gonna pull the 1 or the 1 point deduction.
I mean, I'll say this.
17.
He did not deserve to win this.
This was the definition, and we're live. This was the definition of a backed into win.
Yeah.
As much as I like to say that about Byron, I've always back into
Now,
wins.
again,
I mean,
he got it
executing on
done.
restarts. I was gonna say executing on restarts is an art in itself. I mean, you got to give it to him for being able to do that.
Yeah, it's. I'll say this. No, absolutely not. No. As a matter of fact, this is probably the only backed into win that I would consider for him. He's not. He's not. He's not Alex Bowman.
Phoenix, he didn't do that one. He wasn't running.
And that's true too. Brian brought up a good point. If his crew chief didn't pit him early in the first or after the first stage, he would have been up there a lot sooner. He didn't have a bad car, I guess.
I mean,
a 10 is reserved for somebody who was there the entire day and executed. But I mean, listen, he got it done. I don't care how you do it. You know, these things are not easy to win, and for him to be able to do it, that's 6 on the year. I mean, and he won Hendrick Motorsports 300th. So,
I mean, I think
actually,
I'll give him a 10 just for the fact that it's a milestone.
yeah, actually, I was about to say, I think right there, yep, he's getting a 10. I'll give him the 10. He's getting the point back. He gets the 10 for the 300th win.
And I will say this: he did get 7 stage points in stage 1. Just you know. Yep. All right. Let's just move on to
Justin Haley.
He finished 13th. It was not a bad day for him.
I mean, yeah.
It was not a bad day for Justin Haley.
I will say this. I will say this though: he was not running there. He definitely also benefited from the like chaos and stuff like that to get that far up. But credit to him, he kept his car clean. He did make it to the end. So I'll say for his standards,
Actually,
7 is reasonable.
Who mentioned this in Race Reaction today? Because Brian just said if you're rating William Byron on his skill, he's a 10, but his crew chief deserves a 4 or 5. Somebody said that about Christopher Bell today.
Oh, that was the
pit crew.
Yeah, somebody said that about if you could rate their pit crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
If you can rate their pit crew, Christopher Bell's pit crew gets a 1.
The Hunter said that.
Yeah, the Hunter said that.
Something like Bell's 7 or 8, and Bell's pit crew was 0. So
Yeah.
Thank the Hunter for that.
Yeah, so that's.
And then isn't the colleague car a 4-star car? Like they're not up front every week.
I mean, I'm gonna give him a 6. I think that's a good score for him in 13th.
So I thought Colleague was like a 3-star team.
It
RCR is like a 4-star, and then Hendricks a 5.
23-11 in RCR. 3 stars like Colleague, and then 2 stars like Rick Ware.
Well,
What's
no,
1
like,
star
Rick
then?
Is like a 1, but like yeah.
Beard
Colleague-
Motorsports.
Legacy.
Oh.
Yep. Colleague is like a borderline and 3-star or 2 kind of team. I'm not really sure what's with that team. They clearly have the talent, I can tell. AJ and Haley are definitely not bad, but they just
They
don't have
ran
the
really
equipment,
good
it
last
seems.
year, and now they're just not having it.
Yeah, where did that momentum go for
And
Colleague?
their Xfinity team's kind of bad now too. Like they spread themselves too thin, and now they're just losing over.
But they got rid of Landon Castle, man. They need Landon Castle.
Landon Castle supremacy.
And I think
They lost Landon Castle, man.
All right, let's go to Michael McDowell.
Michael McDowell.
Where
15th place finish for him.
he got stage points for sure, didn't he? Hey, what's
good.
up, Roofer?
6 in
Stage 1.
And then none in stage 2.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'll give him a 6. No, but I'll give him a 6. He was running pretty well.
I mean, yeah, he got him to the front given that stage strategy, and then he just managed to keep his car clean. An overall respectable run for that team.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
He got 6 stage points in stage 1, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go on. Zane Smith.
What
Likely last star for front row.
No, he has Charlotte. He has the Roval. He has one more race.
Yeah, he's at the Roval too.
The Roval. I forgot about that. But yeah, but yeah, he finished 24th.
He was in that
although,
wreck
to be
with
honest,
that massive wreck at the end.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he gets an
I mean, he was
extra
able to keep
point for the
rolling.
drift he pulled.
Hold on. Send me that. I need to see it.
I'm gonna give him a 4. I mean, it wasn't great. Man,
I mean, he signed with Trackhouse, so I need to see more, even if it's with this team. And to be honest, during most of the race, he was completely non-factor. I can't give him
Well-
any more than a 3.
In all fairness, though, Ford was pretty much a no-show for a lot of the race. Like I know Briscoe was up there in the end.
Well,
Brad K was up there.
I mean,
His-
Dark K's were the only ones that I really saw up there consistently, and Blaney.
Oh, Blaney
But,
started
yeah.
out not the greatest because his car was not handling at all.
Yeah, but
over
he
the course
did
of the
get
race,
there.
he got it
He was
better
getting
and better and
great.
better, and then he got taken out in a crash.
The Fords got
exactly.
better as it went on, but I looked before the race started. RFK Fords were 2 and 3, and then the next qualifying Ford was Michael McDowell all the way in 17th.
I do know in the beginning of the race, Todd Gilliland was fighting position with him. So
Best finishing Ford at the end of the day was P6 Kevin Harvick.
Damn.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
Then Toyota had the next 3.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, on that note, let's move on to Ryan Preece.
Where did Preece end up?
According to this
23rd.
ticker, he finished 23rd. I mean, I don't even think I've heard his name mentioned once during the race. Not once.
He was in that wreck.
He didn't crash, so there's that.
He had damage though.
He had damage, but he wasn't really involved in that wreck.
I mean, I saw him in the top 15 for a hair, but his performance was just unremarkable.
He was in the top 6 at one point.
That was pit
strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give him a. I'm gonna give him a 3. I mean, it wasn't remarkable. It was kind of Ryan Preece's day, you know.
I mean, he finished
Preece.
worst out
Ryan
of all the
Preece.
SHR drivers, which makes me tuck into a 3.
Hey, he's running the Ricky Bobby scheme.
That is, you know what? That for next week, I'll give him a higher score just because of that.
He's running a Ricky
Yeah, no pain schemes can get you bonus points.
Daily Mountain Dew car gave him a +1.
I did. I absolutely did because of that Mountain Dew car was awesome.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on.
Guys, whatever happened to
Hosvar.
NY Racing? Did they
Hosvar
shut
was
down?
actually up, and he was mixing
I
it
believe
up
NY
most
Racing
of the
did
race.
shut down. They ran like
He
half
got
the
16th.
races in the spring of 22, and then after Talladega, they kind of went away. And Biffle
I
has
mean,
money for it.
Considering Carson Hocevar has been running pretty consistently in the top 15, I guess.
My question
I think
is,
there can be.
What,
I think there
what
can
is
be a
Hocevar
genuine.
doing that Noah didn't?
I'm
honestly
honestly not.
Be good.
He's gotten better as a whole,
I
so they
think
probably have gotten more
Because
Chevy support.
it can.
the one thing I do know is that they don't have sponsors no more. Wendy's left, Black Rifle left.
Are we talking about Hocevar with the 42?
We're talking about 42 car, really.
Yeah, they have a lot of support from Sunseeker though. Like they've got almost gang brit. They've almost got.
was Maury Gallagher.
Yeah, I know,
It's
but
owned by Maury Gallagher, and I believe Sunseeker is as well. So that's probably
both
95%
Maury Gallagher.
of
It's
the
akin.
unsponsored.
yeah, but I mean, it's the same thing though with HendrickCars.com though. I mean, they get so much funding from them too. I mean, it's
Well, yeah, but that's out of
True,
pocket.
but then that's
But the difference is that Hendrick can afford that. Can Maury Gallagher afford that?
yeah. Oh yeah.
He can afford it.
Yeah,
He can afford it. Trust me.
I
will
say
say
this.
John Hunter, they're
I'd
probably
like
gonna
to,
get like maybe Mobile One since Harvick won't be over there, and they've sponsored Milkshake in the past.
I'd like
the fire
to,
alarm and whatever that company is, fire
Barker, yeah.
safety.
Hi,
Those
Barker.
guys, and
Well,
maybe
Anheuser-Busch is going to try and
I'd like to. I'd like to bring up something that
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, considering Jones has been running pretty well and Hocevar has been running pretty decently as well, I think there can be maybe it's not that
I think Hocevar is very great. Don't get me wrong, but it's probably not that Hocevar has been doing like superhuman performances, bring the 42 into the like teens and such, and that I think the 42 just got better.
Oh yeah, they got better as a whole. I
They've
mean,
definitely
Jones,
gotten better.
Yeah.
Jones has been running way better than he was
Yeah,
earlier in
I
the year
mean,
too.
I will say
You know,
this:
Jones is good.
during the playoffs, they've really turned over the wick. I mean, like looking at Jones, they got 10th at Darlington, which is expected for them. It's Jones. Then they got a third at Kansas, which was really impressive. They were running decently well at Bristol before they got into something, and
Yeah.
then here they were running extremely well. We're in
They were
we're
the
in second place
best
for
car at the
a
end of
long
this race
time.
before that crash, no doubt.
Yeah,
They're
Yeah, it was
the
one
only
of the
guys who
best
could stay
cars.
with Larson.
but yeah, but still, I will say this for Hocevar, or I'm gonna have to knock him down to like a 6 because as he did cause that stupid wreck with Bowman and Almirola, and then he also hit the wall.
That's what I was gonna.
So,
Yeah, he made some rookie mistakes, but that's kind of to be expected, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
think
give him.
he
I'm gonna give him a
should have
7.
back.
I think he gets a
I
7.
think a little bit lower
Yeah,
than
that's
a
what I.
7.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I suppose we are also considering the fact that that team has also been running a terrible recently, but yeah, he's like
I mean,
6, 7, something like that.
this is literally the man hasn't finished outside the top 20 in any of his cup starts except for his first one, and because of a brake failure. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
what
the
Hendrickson's
guy's
best
going
finish was
somewhere.
what, a 12
Yeah,
at
Who's
Atlanta?
this
got
Hocevar?
talent. He's definitely got talent.
and he's in terrible equipment. Like we're not talking okay equipment. We're talking terrible equipment.
Yeah, like
Well,
Noah Grexon's best finish was a
I
12 at
wouldn't
Atlanta.
call it terrible anymore. But
Well, no, but I'm talking about just how this year's went. I mean, I think Gregson was like 32nd in the points.
Gregson isn't that bad of a driver. We know that.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't the driver that was doing it. It was the
Yeah, he
yeah.
had that bad haircut.
Which I think as we've said, the equipment might be improved for whatever reason, but yeah. But I think we should move on to Eric Jones now, and I just gotta say this now. I feel so bad for the guy. He was running so well.
Yeah, I mean, it helped my fantasy team, but at what cost? You know, I didn't even win, so I would have just much rather him stayed up there. I'm still gonna give him a 6. I mean, the dude was running, and it wasn't his
That
fault.
boy Jones boy.
He was second in stage 2, and I think without all the caution shenanigans, he probably would have finished there.
If he didn't get caught up in that wreck, he
He
definitely
probably-
had a top 5 car.
He probably
He
could have
just-
even a
should have
dark
not
horse for
pitted.
the win, even.
I mean, the way I see it is this: he was the only guy, or sorry, he was the highest running car at that random restart with 4 fresh tires. Had things gone differently, he might have been able to use the charge up to the top 10 and maybe make a pretty solid run. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's his call. That's more of his crew chief's call. So I can't really put that on him.
Maybe
Yeah, I mean,
he
it,
would have even been a solid threat for the win. Maybe a dark horse.
Yeah,
That's debatable, but considering all the chaos, I wouldn't entirely rule it out.
Yeah, no.
But
yeah,
enough about Jones now. Sad for
yeah.
him.
Where did
Let's
Reddick
move on
end
to
up?
Reddick.
Reddick was 25th.
Yeah, it's not good. He was in that. He hit the wall pretty hard in that big crash.
That team was okay, but they got screwed by that Suarez spin whenever Suarez spun right
Yeah,
at the beginning of pit stops.
yeah.
They were literally the only car to have pitted.
Because he is. If I'm looking
I
at
think
this,
I'm looking at the stage system at the points. He got none stage 2, but he had the win in stage 1, and his car wasn't slow by any means. It was decently
Wasn't as good as
fast.
Bubba.
yeah,
Yeah,
it wasn't bad.
but it wasn't terrible. But then he just, got off the stick with the pit strategy and then got screwed by stuff. So
Yeah, that was the top 8 car.
I mean, I don't honestly know. I'm gonna give him a 6. I feel like we're gonna be a lot of those, but that just feels right for me.
Yeah, I'll give him a 4. I mean, I was pretty harsh, but he's below the cut line, and whenever you're in the playoffs, I'm going to grade you a lot differently.
Yeah, true.
Leave
And
it to
also,
Matt
I
to
suppose,
make it harsh
and
on
also you're
last
coming down to
race of the year.
Talladega.
I think he's
What do you-
better at real
Oh,
than he is mile
never
and
mind.
a half.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, true. But relying on the Roval solely for your points, especially when you're coming to a wild card like Talladega, I'm just gonna say this: for playoff drivers, you need any cushion you can get.
Because I think
Reddick
Reddick's
does not have
only
that.
win of the season is at Circuit of the Americas.
Well, he got
from
one
last
at
year.
he got one at the
He won it.
Kansas.
Yeah, he won Kansas. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. He won Kansas 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, he's below the cut line now. He's got to figure something out. Let's go on to Ricky Stenhouse.
Stenhouse ninth is
He finished 9th, which is a lot better than he was running, honestly.
Finished 9th?
Yeah, he finished 9th.
Stenhouse finished 9th.
It wasn't bad actually. Top 10 for those guys.
I mean, I will say this: they also were benefits of the pits of the chaos at the end because they were not running anywhere near that level. But credit to them, they got up there. Ricky actually managed to keep the car clean. So hey, I'll give.
I'm
them
gonna give him.
points.
I'm giving him a 7. Yeah, 7 is solid for him for real.
Yeah, they had been sniffing the top 15 throughout the day, and then they kind of fell off. And then at the end, when everything's happened, he executed and got up there. Good on
Yeah, I
him.
mean, credit to him. He did what he said he could. I mean, a bit late, but still good. Let's move on.
To Alex Bowman.
Bowman.
He finished
Bo mid, should I say?
Bow mid, and he finished 12th today.
Let's see, he finished 12th. I mean,
He
he
had
got
the spin.
no
He had the
stage.
spin.
Well, true, but I don't think that was really his fault.
No,
He
no,
ran
no.
14th every time, like this whole race though. So
I'm gonna give him a 5. I mean, just
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know,
it's
man.
safe.
In the playoffs, but is he
12th for this finish is
the only thing is like Larson was doing good. Byron won the race. Chase only went from 30th to 11th, but Bowman ran 14th to 12 every almost like every race.
I mean, he was getting up there at kind of at points, but he just was kind of a non-factor.
Yeah,
he finished the
I
race
mean-
out decently well, but this is not a Hendrick car. Like in
Bowman
terms
was-
of performance.
Yeah.
Bowman was
Where's
definitely
CR?
Bowman was definitely one of the cars in the race.
That was about it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. In that case, let's move on to
Todd
Gilliland.
Gilliland.
Yeah, this is an easy one.
Now they call him Bowman.
Yeah, that was
He's
tough.
Bowman in the showman because he's not doing much. He's just in the show.
Yeah, but yeah, Todd Gilliland.
I'm gonna give him a 1. 1.
Lost a wheel. I mean, that's
lost a wheel.
How the hell did he
even
even get
then,
out
though,
from
he still
that?
wasn't racing. He still wasn't doing the best though, so I can't.
He
Really
was.
consider it.
He was.
wheel break
Yeah.
something?
No, it was just a loose lug. I mean, it just came off.
Yeah. Not much else to say about him, so let's move
Hit the
on
wall,
to
so
Ty
that's good.
Gibbs.
Like,
I mean,
He was running decent before he made that.
Ty Gibbs in
pretty much
Texas
that rookie
Road.
mistake
Pit
and
road.
just T-boned Hamlin on pit road.
I couldn't believe that. It was like he was texting and driving or something. What
Yeah, I
was
don't.
What was going on there?
I do believe that texting and driving is illegal in the state of Texas.
Battery score, that
And
thing was
then-
clean.
Texting
Yeah,
and
that's
driving
what
is
he's
illegal
doing
in
too,
about
and
every,
that's
like
like
all 50 states, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah, very funny.
This
And
isn't
then-
the second. This is like the second altercation he had in Texas Pit Road.
No,
There
he
was
hasn't.
last year.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Listen,
Ty Dillon last year.
honestly, I think I've got to give him. I think I've got to give him the 1 for that.
Like,
Right?
I don't understand why he did that because
That
like he
was
had room and clearly the driver said like what one lane. Like he didn't even get one lane. Like another car could have fit in between that.
Yeah, I think. I think I'm giving him a 1.
the Cardinal fin in
Yeah, I
first
mean,
as well.
he wasn't running bad, I guess. He was running okay, but like that was. I mean, that was 100%.
It's just dumb.
Self-inflicted his fault.
It was
He's
just so avoidable.
Yes, like I don't really know how that happened.
Yeah,
Crashing
that's
your
like
team
like
with
how
Austin and Motor.
Listen to
How did he even
this,
get out from that? It was a big
guys.
road collision.
I just got a comment from Brian here saying a 1. Even Jesus makes mistakes. Be more graceful. And you know, I would say that of all the drivers that Jesus gets, it's got to be Ty Gibbs. I mean, he gets us. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
listen, I will amend it to a 2 in the name of the Lord. In the
I'm so confused.
in the name of the Lord, I'm going to give him a 2.
But
All right.
yeah, but in seriousness, that was a rookie mistake. Let's move on.
Ty Dillon with a top 20.
My
What?
boy Ty Dillon, he was the best car out there of backmarkers.
The goat.
Better
Ty
not be being
Dillon.
sarcastic.
Ty Dillon.
He was
Ty
the best
Dillon.
fire car out of the whole thing.
Ty
Jokes
Dillon
aside,
beat
he
defeat
was running
champion
Yeah,
Joey
best
Logano
fire
in
car,
pure
that's
speed. All
20
I'm
to
gonna say.
25.
Don't say anything.
I'm gonna give him a 6. I mean, that was
He
solid.
was running 20th to 25.
Listen, it's Ty Dillon with a top 20. I mean, you don't see that.
I go.
For his
Shouldn't even be
standards.
in the
Really?
There was one.
You saw what you
there
put
was
in there.
there was one caution where it came out and he was the only car on the lead lap because everyone else had pitted. I knew it wasn't gonna happen.
Chase Elliott was on the lead lap too.
Oh,
There
was
was
he really?
There was 7 cars on the lead lap. He was leading.
I was really just hoping. I knew it wasn't gonna happen. I was
He
really
lead a
just
lap.
hoping. I was
He lap
hoping.
3.
I was just gonna say. I was hoping they kept him out because it would have been funny. Like I know it wasn't
Yeah,
gonna
that's what
happen,
he
but it would have
said.
been really funny.
All right,
That's what
we
he
go
said.
to.
I should have not paid. It kept like all those guys lap down.
Dylan leading
I
laps
was
at
like,
Texas.
something along the lines of like,
He
hey,
led
you
more
want
laps than Chase Elliott. What does that
to
say?
guys lap down or something?
All right, BJ McLeod. Get loud for
He
BJ.
toughed the whole race out without a cool suit.
He did. He did. And Brian asked when he went a lap down. He got lapped. He got lapped. It was an actual. I saw him actually get lapped, and honestly, I'm surprised he only went one down. And
down at one point though, but it was back-to-back cautions.
yeah,
I
so
mean, I will say this though. Oh, he went laps down and stuff like that, and he was, but like in terms of raw speed, he was probably the slowest car on the track. But he did finish 22nd, which for that car is
that's a 5.
a lot
That's
better
a
than
5.
So I gotta
Just
say
end the
5.
year on a high note, man. They gotta celebrate.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if we mentioned it for Stenhouse, but Stenhouse did not have a cool suit either. If you remember, his broke. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 5.
I think the broadcast actually said that he doesn't wear one by choice. He literally never had one the whole race.
Well, did you wait? Who did that?
Oh wait, no, that's right. That's right. No, BJ's broke, and it was Stenhouse who didn't
Yeah,
want one.
BJ McLeod's broke. He'll get the start of the race, and Stenhouse just flat out never wore any cooling systems
That's right.
ever.
That's right.
Hey, what's going on, Cameron?
All right, well, you know what? Since BJ
Um,
managed to make it the whole race, he's in that hot summer heat with a broken cool suit. I'll give him a 6 just for that.
Also, I want to take a moment to give some appreciation to the NBC broadcast. Fox could never do this. Did anybody else know that Martin Truex normally doesn't race with an air conditioner in his car because it weighs 9 pounds and it upsets the balance of the car?
No, I did not know that.
Because I would have never known that. So I want to give props to NBC for that info because that is incredible info to have.
Well, to be fair, that is kind of
a
like
lot better info compared
that
to
is
Fox.
kind of like a Mike Joy tidbit. That I mean, Mike Joy he does that. He has that sometimes too on Fox, where he like will just have this random knowledge that nobody ever knows about, and it's just like he's just saying it to flex, you know. But no, across NBC.
He'll slip up and
Old man privileges. All I can say.
My keyboard warriors out there. This is the last commercial break.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're not going to get into Mike Joy. Daniel Suarez. Let's finish this one off with Suarez. He finished 8th after he had a up and down day, but 8th place.
Wait. I got two things to say about Suarez. He went from 30th to 8th in a handful of laps. And B, I've been watching Suarez personally. I've been watching 6 guys personally to see how they're doing. Suarez has made a mistake. Not this is not based on finishes. Has made a mistake in 20 out of the how many races have we run?
30.
30.
He has made a mistake in 30 of the races.
And you have to remember too, he was the first ever international champion.
Yeah,
That's true.
I mean, you're in a trackhouse car and you make mistakes in 20 of the races. You have made a mistake.
Suarez has been really, really mistake prone. He's got to clean that up, especially with Shane Van Gisbergen going to be breathing out his neck.
Well,
but in terms of this race, it's a bit of a wild card. He was running like top 20, like top 15 in during most stage 1. He then got to top 10 in stage 2 also pit strategy. But then he had that really weird spin coming to pit road. Just like, I don't know how that happened, honestly.
I think that happened to him at a super speedway this year too, did it not? Or was that somebody else?
Daytona, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I think he was from down.
But that was a flat tire though.
Yeah.
And it's not always on Suarez though. If we look back at Indy, he didn't make a mistake, but then his crew did, and then
right.
Crazy. So
but then the team as a whole just needs to get better. But essentially for Suarez, that spin was weird. But he got put back to 8th. He had a stage point, and to be honest, that caution actually bailed his teammate Chastain out because it allowed Chastain to come down and get 2 tires, get his track position back, and then come back to finish 2nd. So I don't think that was his plan, but overall, this was probably the best result they could have reasonably gotten considering this pace they had. So I'll give him a 7.
And now we move on to our biggest winner.
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 Bubba Wallace, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I think it's gonna be Byron.
Probably, I would say
I'm saying
like Byron or Chastain.
And I think the only reason Suarez is mistake prone is because he was rushing the cup way too soon.
Well, yeah, but he's had 6 years now.
Yeah,
Where?
he's had a lot of time.
Hold on.
Suarez is mellowed out.
Y'all want to know something funny? Dice, are you in here?
Yes, I'm here.
I don't think Byron's on this list for biggest winners, homie. I think you left off William Byron.
What?
You 100% left off William Byron. So, who's our second biggest winner of the day?
Hold on, let me check this. Hold on, I gotta find where this is at. I've gotta get used to this.
If I may be missing it too, but I don't think he's on there.
They're on numerical order. I copied it. He should be on there.
No, because it goes Martin Truex in the 19, Bell, Burton, Logano, and then Haley.
He is on there. He is on there. Here, let me.
Are you guys? He's on for biggest loser, but not on for biggest winner.
He should be.
I don't know.
Okay,
I will.
You guys, address the technical issue. On.
It's fine. We can pick somebody else. I mean, we can know in our heart. I mean, the second biggest winner would be Bubba then, in my opinion.
I'd say it's Chastain.
I say
I'm
I'm only gonna say Bubba because he was not supposed to run well here today.
Yeah, one guy picked William Byron as the biggest winner earlier.
What's going on?
Okay, well, you know what? Let's come back to this.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? You want to just come back to this after we fix this because
it'll save your guys' responses. So let me go ahead.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll just do heat index, and he's also. You may want to check because Bubba Wallace is also not on the top first one either. So I went to go and put in two different guys, and my 1 and 2.
Yeah, might want to check that mates.
But we'll do the heat index.
I figured it out, guys. So apparently, for these biggest winner, biggest loser, and stuff, if someone picks them, they are not on there because two people have submitted so far picked Byron and Bubba, and I don't see why that should be that way. It's just how it is.
Okay, then. Well, you try and get
If we do this again, like if we do the stream thing for next week, at least we know what to fix for next time.
I'm not sure how to fix it.
Yeah.
Well, you can have a week
I'm
to
gonna
fix it.
add them really quickly. Y'all can close it, and they're gonna be at the bottom. Sorry about that, but they're gonna be at the very bottom.
At least make it easy to find.
Let's see. I'll refresh it.
Well, and add what they picked.
And then whatever happened to team?
All right, I got it.
Or whatever that.
So William Byron is my biggest winner. Now we can go to biggest loser, and that has to be Kyle Busch, right?
Kyle Busch.
I'm saying KB.
And also, so Dice, we're gonna have to figure that out because Kyle Busch is also not on the biggest loser now.
I know it's because the other guys picked it, so it
Yeah.
does that now.
It sounds like it's a unanimous thing, though. I mean, most of us know that it's gonna be.
Kyle Busch was running what, top 10?
Well, he was running top 10, yeah, but then he got his tire
really
He was. I was like, Bush was top 5 on the tire.
Oh.
Go and he backed in.
You know what though? I think I'll go ahead.
His biggest loser.
I think I'm gonna agree with Cameron. Kyle Larson, biggest loser.
Oh,
yeah.
That's that's a great one.
Yeah.
That is mine.
I mean,
I do think that.
I'm gonna say this. The only reason I'm not putting Larson and I'm putting Bush instead is because Kyle Larson did get a number of stage points, which at least somewhat preserved his race.
That's true.
Bush did finish.
Bush didn't.
But yeah.
He wrecked out in what?
Larson's wreck was so weird. It was like a video game glitch.
It was.
You just turned 45 degrees instantly.
You guys can close the form and reopen it for everyone here, including who's filling out at home.
I was gonna say Austin Dillon was the biggest loser.
It'll save your responses.
Um.
Two guys at the bottom were
Yeah, I see it.
So if you don't see anybody, check there.
Now, is that gonna affect it whenever we all are doing this right now, or it doesn't matter? Whatever. Biggest surprise. We'll just go to biggest surprise, and I think I'm gonna agree with whatever somebody else has already said. I think it's gonna be Eric Jones again. No, actually, I don't think I'm going to because he got in the wreck. So I don't think I'm going to go there.
I'll say Ricky
I mean,
Stenhouse.
Eric Jones, I think if he finished, it might have been, but he
Agree
didn't.
with
Yeah.
Suarez.
Briscoe. Briscoe was
I
pretty
say
good.
Suarez only because he went
Oh,
from
sure,
30th
Briscoe's a
to
good
8th.
option too.
Yeah,
You
you know
know,
what? I'm gonna say Briscoe.
I am
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
say.
Briscoe Suarez because my data from the data that I watched, the last race he hasn't made a mistake was hold on, let me look.
I'm torn between Hocevar and Briscoe because Hocevar had that toe link issue
Damn.
and
We all
still
kind of
finished
thought that
16th.
Hocevar would run around
Well,
where he did.
here's the
though.
I didn't
thing
know
with.
Hostar had a toe link issue. I didn't know that.
I mean, yeah, true.
Yeah, he had a
did
toe
all-
link issue.
I mean, the only the huge thing with Hostvar's biggest surprise, though, this kind of thing with him running like this isn't that surprising anymore because he's actually getting able to get these finishes 17th, 20th, 11th. We are kind of beginning to expect this from him now. So
I would
this isn't as
say,
surprising like it used to be.
I
Wait,
would
is biggest
say
surprise positive or negative?
it can be both.
Positive.
It could be both. We usually
Yeah.
go positive, but negative is an option.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I've never looked at it as a negative, but I guess it could be.
Oh, we could do.
Then
well, we could
actually,
do, like,
I'm gonna say Kyle Busch then. Since I gave Kyle Larson the biggest loser, I'll say Kyle Busch was the biggest surprise.
There we go.
That's a good point. I've never looked at it as surprise.
I mean, if you want, we could do both. Maybe biggest surprise positive, biggest surprise negative.
Nah, I think that's too much. I think it's
All right, fair enough.
I guess it's which one was more surprising, positive.
and I'll probably switch it around actually. I'm gonna say biggest loser. I'm gonna say biggest loser was Kyle Busch and biggest surprise was Larson because I expected Larson to run really well here today, and he didn't.
Well, he did, but
Well, he did, but yeah. So
Yeah, until the tire blew.
yeah.
don't think he had a tire blow. I think
Let's
he
move
just got
on
really
to who now
Biggest flop.
The flop.
Biggest flop I'm putting.
Oh, flop.
Austin Dillon, man. 9 DNFs. Nah, I'm joking, but
Flop
Yeah,
would be
I
flop.
put
Truex
Eric
for
Jones
me.
now because Jones was running really well
actually,
for Legacy
I
Motorsports
think that
equipment.
that's a good one. I like Eric Jones.
Yeah, I'm saying Jones. I mean, I wish I didn't, but he did. It flop.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm gonna say.
Would flop be somebody who was doing well and then blew it, or is flop be somebody who was expected to do well coming in and then just did not do well at any point of the race?
It could be both.
Yeah, I think it could be both.
Like
Because if we're
for me,
if you're looking
flop,
at
I'd
the
put
biggest
Truex.
flop from the other point of view, I'd probably say a Penske car, but
yeah,
This
It's
has
kind
not
of
been the
expected
year.
for Penske at this point because I think the only win that Penske Penske has 2 wins this year because Logano at
one
Spring
was doing
Atlanta,
Logano at Spring
and
Atlanta,
then
and
Logano
the
had
other was
Atlanta, and then
Charlotte,
Blaney had the 600.
in May. That was the last Penske win. Was May.
That's wild.
Yeah, they're not doing well at all. That's kind of the
what's
reason
wrong
I
with
had
them?
Blaney
'Cause
out this round.
LMP doing good, and front row is doing better. So what's wrong with Penske?
And
That's
then
bad.
Stuart Haas is a disaster.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Penske
Except for
hasn't
this
been.
race.
Now let's put it on the heat index. I'm gonna say a 6. I'm gonna say a 6. This was
Yeah, I'll say
I'm gonna just. This was way better than last year's.
it was 100%.
Yeah,
I went to the race last year. I just want to say I feel bad for every fan that was at that track because I was there last year and I almost died.
It was,
Yeah,
I think NBC said it was like 100 degrees in Texas
It was
today. The
101,
hottest
right?
was like 110 at California, like 07, I think it
2007.
was.
Yeah, 2007.
Hey, thanks for stopping by, Roofer. Thanks for stopping by. We're wrapping this thing up anyway. We hit the heat index, so
Sorry about that tech thing. I'll have to figure that out for next time.
Grab the Murph turn 2.
Yep.
I mean, Penske as an organization hasn't been doing good since Keselowski left.
Yeah, well,
that's it.
Yep, and I will conclude.
Yeah, how do y'all save this?
you just submit it.
I think it's a Google Doc.
You submit at the bottom.
What are you doing?
It saves it by itself.
If you're in the Google Doc that all of us were putting stuff in, it would automatically save. If you're doing the off the video sending in, then I'm not sure.
Well,
All
I'm
right,
on the,
y'all.
Google's NASCAR driver ratings Texas 2023. The Google
That would
Doc.
automatically save.
Oh, okay,
That would
cool.
automatically save.
Cool.
All right, y'all.
for you
Well,
now.
we got this thing fixed up. We got it going, and we'll do it again next week. I'm gonna get out of the VC. I'm gonna close out the stream, and I'll talk to you boys in the Discord chat.
Matt, you said you wanted this in an hour. We got a little over.
Yeah, just a little bit. You know, we're not too upset about that.
What if Cup went to Mexico City?
All right, y'all. I think you guys can still hear me. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. I know this is different. You know, this was definitely different than what you guys are used to. But I had fun with it. So, why did I type 6? Did I type 6? I put a 6 in for this one. The race wasn't bad, in my opinion. It was a really good race for Texas standards. Probably the worst 1.5 mile track or race that we've had all year. But that was to be expected for Texas. So until they do something to fix this track, I don't have much hope for it. So, but anyway, I appreciate everybody for stopping out. Thanks for coming in. If you guys aren't in the Discord, check the About section of the channel. You guys can join the conversation with your voices. Yeah, I'm going to check out that car, Cameron. It sounds awesome. I'm a big Nintendo 64 fan, and for them to use that font for the number 64 would be incredible. But thank you guys, Baron, Farmer, Roofer, everybody else that stopped out. You guys are incredible. We're going to do this every Sunday night to react and recap the races. This is probably the only live streaming that I'm going to be doing, but it's still fun. For those of you guys that are still here, next week's stream or next week's video schedule is going to be the team history of Richard Childress Racing. And then Friday, I have a special video for you. We're going to do we're going to explain the charter system, how complicated it's history. So until next time, guys, I appreciate everybody for their support, and I will see you next time. Peace.